Okay, I just wanted to give us like a foundation, just let you know what mental health is and what mental illness is. And one of the things I want us to take away from here is a lot of times we go through phases, we go through things. I mean, we're not happy 100% of the time. Things don't pan out right 100% of the time. But it becomes to be classified as a mental illness when it begins to affect your daily living, especially for the youth, when it affects them at home, in their relationships, in school, and it's affecting every area or every facet of their existence. Then that is when it becomes a matter for concern and you need to seek help from a mental health professional. Next slide, please. Just to give us some facts about youth mental health in the US, it tells us that 1 out of every 5, that's almost 20, that's like 20%. It's more like a 19% thing, but almost 1 out of every 5 youth in the US live with a mental illness. And a lot of those are undiagnosed because they just deal with it. Statistically, they found out that from the time of onset to when people actually seek help, when it comes in the area of mental illness, is an average of 10 years. So a lot of people have suffered for 10 plus years before they actually seek help. They've suffered with depression, they've suffered with anxiety, they've suffered with substance use disorder, they've suffered with so much until it gets to that place where they now realize that, okay, maybe I need help. And that's a long time to suffer. It lets us know that half of all mental illness begins by age 14 for adults that have mental illness. Half of them, it started by age 14 and 3/4 by age 24. That's why it's such a, I think it was Desmond Tutu that says we need to stop we need to stop pulling people out of water. We need to go further down and see why they're falling in. But a lot of times we deal with adults, yes, but why don't we catch them when they're young? When it's still at infancy, when it's something that can be dealt with easily, until we don't have to wait until they're adults and it's full blown and they have to be institutionalized or put on such heavy medication, because that's the only way they can function. It says 9 out of 10 people who attempt suicide have an underlying mental illness, diagnosed or undiagnosed. Now that lets us know the importance of taking care of our mental health. Suicide was the 10th leading cause of death for all ages in 2018, but it was the 2nd leading cause of death for it's actually ages 10 through 34.
Wow.
So even above congenital disease, above sickness, above anything else, suicide was the 2nd, and the first one was something you have no control over. Maybe they got involved in an accident or something. So that lets you see the high incidence in the country. So we're talking about the role of the family, the role of the family with regards to youth mental health. Cam, can you go to the next slide, please? We're talking about protective factors. Protective factors. Now, if you look at all these protective factors, I hope you can see it at the back. You'll see that there's parent involvement in most of them. Parent connectedness, there's parent involvement in that. Connections to other non-parental adults, there's some parent oversight over that as well. School safety, parents need to be involved with the school to know what's going on. What do they have in place? Closeness to caring friends, we need oversight over that as well. Overall resilience, we need to build resilience into our children. Neighborhood safety, parents are involved with that as well. Awareness of and access to local health services, parents need to be involved in that. And then academic achievement, we need to keep an eye on our children. We need to make sure they go to school first of all. We need to make sure they keep up with their work so they're not overwhelmed. We need to make sure that they have all the resources necessary. So there are a lot of things that the family needs and the parents need to keep up with. There's nothing there that does not involve parental involvement. There's not one of those that parents do not need to be involved in. One of the main things is that parent's connectedness, because there's something in us that God has put in us at that